You don't have to do a lot of detailed process work because AI will handle it. We're not going to develop software for human anymore. It's mostly software for AI, which is the skills. And AI will handle all the hard and dirty work. That's why you see a lot of SaaS services do have the mindset that we're going to provide the most convenient product for human. But the problem is humans are not going to operate on the software anymore. So a lot of SaaS services are not going to exist.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 88 of Colors of Web3 and Entrepreneurship. My name is Lum, your host. For those of you who are new to the show, Colors of Web3 and Entrepreneurship is a show highlighting the journeys of builders and innovators in Web3 and entrepreneurship. Some topics, especially in AI and Web3, make it technical, but we do our best to keep it accessible for most people. Here today, I'm joined by Bruce Yang. He's the co-founder and CEO of Agnes AI. Bruce, can you give a quick introduction about yourself?
Yeah, thank you very much, Nam. So I'm a founder and CEO of Agnes AI. I'm not sure whether we are that much into Web 3.0, but we're definitely AI. So we are homegrown AI company from Singapore. We are right now over 6 million registered users among all the apps. We have our own model, a group, a cluster of AI models supporting us doing large language model, to doing text and image and video models, doing the multimodal generation, and a lot of cool things. So the one thing which sets us apart from all our other potential competitors is we focus a lot in the Southeast Asia regions. A lot of AI companies focus a lot on the Western world, America, and maybe a paid market. We have a big vision of AI inclusion or AI parity, so that we hope that we're able to get 99% of the population who are not that much into AI because of the paywall. We get them to access to the coolest part of AI. That's our part of our vision.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. So I think many people watching the podcast would probably be curious to know like what you did, like how you came to this. Maybe if you can deep dive and share with us, walk us forward from, pick a point in time, maybe from your first job after college is okay, and then walk forward up to the present day. Yeah.
Sounds good. So I came to Singapore at age of 15 as a scholar from China, under a scholarship. So I've been studying in Singapore Raffles Institution for the entire high school. So after that, I got an opportunity to study abroad at America, at the center of the Silicon Valley, which is UC Berkeley. So I have my undergrad in math and computer science, and that was like in year of late of 2000. So it's like I graduated when I graduated is 2010. So quite some time ago. But that's the exact time of Web 2.0, which we see a lot of cool companies built at that stage. And a lot of people like our professors, our classmates go to the Valley. I mean, we're already at the Valley. Go to some big companies or start their own ones and be something very cool. So I got the chance to also join Microsoft and then LinkedIn after I graduated, and that was time which LinkedIn just went IPO. And during my time staying at LinkedIn, every quarter we beat the expectation with the Wall Street expectations. So we're able to the quarterly calls we keep having our price goes up during the time. So I was among the first to build the subscription for LinkedIn. That was time when LinkedIn started thinking about monetization, and I'm one of the person in charge of the entire subscription team. So that's one of my journeys in the Valley. After that, I started to build my own company. I had an early startup which focused on social media 10 years ago in the Valley, which is similar kind of maybe a Snapchat. You see a lot of cool new social apps coming up. And I was also get a feature by CNN, Fox News as a Chinese entrepreneur in the region. You see a lot of entrepreneurs, Asian entrepreneurs right now, but back in 10 years ago, it's not that much. It's still a rare scenario.
Yeah.
So I after that, I've been keep my journey in my startup arena. I have been working in enterprise business in China. Also, work together with my team to try all kind of different things, get funding, sometimes succeed, sometimes not. And during the COVID, I came back to Singapore to pursue my PhD. So I'm a native PhD student. But the good thing is, it's a time when you see the boom of AI, especially with the introduction of ChatGPT 3, and we were able to see a huge amount of imagination spurred by ChatGPT. And definitely, I together with my PhD, fellow classmates in AI, we found something extremely interesting, which is building, the next generation or maybe a younger version of ChatGPT in the region, which is Southeast Asia. This is time in the late of 2024. In the late of 2024, we started this journey of Agnes AI. Yeah, Agnes AI does move extremely fast. So during the last entire year, we see a huge amount of growth. Actually, we launched our app in July last year. Launching on the web in July last year, and the app is introduced in September. So within about half a year, from September, we are already at 6 million registered users, and our DAU goes up to 300,000. And we are also reached the ARR of 10 million. And you might ask how we compete with big players like ChatGPT or maybe I think one of the things which we optimize a lot is our model efficiencies. So we're posting a lot of our smaller models and using Agentic workflow to connect all them together, so that we're able to cut the cost to about 1/10 of that of most of the players in the market. That allows us to build a viable business in the region like Southeast Asia, and could potentially extend to other markets like Latin, Middle East, because these are the markets which are not perceived as well-paid market, and you have to optimize a lot of things at your side. That's how we tie together with our vision of AI inclusion.
For sure. Yeah. Awesome. Wow. That's a very impressive career path and career, professional that you walk us through there. So it sounds like you were living in the Valley in the US, right, after college for quite some time, right? And then could you share a bit more? Like you said, you were building a social media startup, right, in the Valley? Yeah. What was that about? Share with us a bit more.
So that was like in the year of 2014, where I just quit my job at LinkedIn.
Okay.
A lot of people at my time decided to start a company in the early of their 20s. So I'm doing the same thing. At the time, I decided to build a startup together with some of my classmates at Berkeley. We run a place in Emeryville, which is right next to Berkeley. That was time, we see a lot of things happening. With introduction of Instagram, Snapchat, we just thought that maybe we can do something similar. We call it an anti-Facebook app. We call it Sober. The name of the app is called Sober. It's the anti-Facebook app. Yeah, so we want people to have all their posts to auto deleted in 24 hours. So you can post whatever you want, but within 24 hours, it's gone. It solved the problems of the mental barrier of keeping everything forever. You have to purge your content once for a while.
Yeah, it sounds similar to like Snapchat, right?
Similar to Snapchat, but we're earlier than Snapchat introduced the idea of 24-hour story, and soon after we introduced this feature, Snapchat and Instagram launched similar features which they call story. But it's a very exciting time, and despite it's not a very fruitful journey, because we decided not to continue with after the second year because of lack of funding. We still have the sense of running our own startup. We at peak of our performance, we are reaching a total registered user of 1 million and the DAU close to without any payment, but it still give me a sense of how the market looks like, because Agnes right now, despite our model, despite we have the models as a model company, we're also running very strong on consumer. So I think the startup 10 years ago definitely have sow the seed in my heart to have a dream to build something huge for consumer facing.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, so I'm sure that gave you a lot of fire and inspiration, right, back in the day. But I think that's quite impressive. Yeah, it's quite impressive as well. But I guess at that time probably had to, I don't know, fundraising, because it was probably some VC was seeing it like a crowded space, right, or something.
It's a very crowded space. We did have some fundraising. We have a 1.2 million million as our seed fund. But in a consumer app, especially at the year of 2014, with so many things coming up like TikTok, Douyin, and a lot of big things in China and US come up. 1 million is like spend everything in like a couple months. So we probably cannot survive with 1 million. That's why, for this round of funding, I mean, for this new startup, we start everything with much better perspective of how we should run the business. And we just closed round of funding of 10 million. And we're thinking about, close another round of funding of 10 million by end of March, end of this month. And by mid of this month, we're going to raise another 30 to 50 million. So in the game of consumer and AI, speed is the essence. So we definitely do not really want to make the same make the same mistake of not having enough fund to sustain our growth.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like we are living in an accelerated age or accelerated era right now.
Exactly.
Everything moving at speed of breakneck. Yeah. So I mean, I think for a startup to compete with like big companies, speed is pretty much everything. So you do have to move faster. Otherwise,
But you see that this is only time where startups can compete with the big companies because of all the disruptive scenario, disrupting landscape brought by AI. So if 3 to 5 years later, when the entire landscape stabilizes, I would say we don't really have a chance to compete with companies with bigger resources. So right now, time is essence. We need to be extremely fast. We need to raise money fast. We need to spending money fast. We need to get our metrics up fast so that it becomes a positive cycle.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, time is a very important essence. Cool. Just one fun question before we deep dive into your current main company. Yeah, can you share with us what do you do for fun in your free time or your hobbies?
I play ping pong. I'm
nice.
a relatively good amateur player in table tennis. And I enjoy not only playing ping pong but watching all the ping pong games. I was at the WTT Championship in Singapore. As audience on the first row because I have some good business partners who provide tickets for us, and my 2 daughters are both table tennis players. They're still young. They're like primary 1, primary 4, but I keep hope that they can become a much better player than me. And together as a family, we are ping pong fans. So this is
awesome.
I keep myself not that much of frustrated, not that much of to defeat the anxiety with ping pong.
Nice, awesome. So did you grow up playing ping pong already, or did you learn when you were an adult?
Actually, no. I had some acquaintance of ping pong when I was young, but it's during the COVID, which I'm like locked at home.
Yeah, couldn't go out.
Want to find something to really have some time to sit down together with myself to think about the future. I decided to grab a lifelong habit, lifelong hobbies of ping pong because this is a game which you can play up to year of 80s. And it's a game which you don't require a lot of facilities. You don't. It's not like skiing or golf. You have to find people and you have to a lot of preparation. You can start ping pong anytime you like. So I have a ping pong table right next to my office. I would play anytime I like.
Yeah. I think ping pong is pretty relatively. I would say like very simple to play, but actually really hard to get good, right? It's one of those games. Like So I feel like I can play ping pong okay.
One of the game which you can keep improving until very long time, and especially if you're some of the young players, if you miss the age, you can't really be the best players. So
that makes sense.
It's a game which you won't really have the problem of finding an opponent.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I think we both know that in a lot of professional sports, right? I think if the older you get, obviously like your ability and skills, everything, is gonna reduce, right? Whether it's like maybe soccer, football, basketball, right? I mean, obviously you can keep playing good, like professional level forever. But ping pong, I feel like the age will, I guess it still matter, but it matter much less, right?
Much
versus
less.
Like the other, much
I
less.
totally agree.
So it's like you have a somewhat of an equal playing field. Yeah.
Exactly.
Versus,
That's why the Asians can be the Westerners on the Olympic Games.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think it's just like, I don't know. There's a book I read, it's like 10,000 hours, right? You practice 10,000 hours of something, you become an expert.
Yeah, expert.
So I'm sure to apply for sports and ping pong as well.
Exactly.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. So without further ado, I think let's go ahead and maybe switch topic and deep dive into your current company, Agnes AI. I think it'd be good to maybe let's talk a bit about like the background, like the founding story of the company, right? Maybe deep dive a bit more into that, and then afterward maybe you can share a bit of a demo, like product demo for
Sounds good.
our audience to see. Yeah.
So as I mentioned, so before we start this journey of Agnes AI, I was doing my PhD at AOS. It's a time where I really want to sit down, think about the future, the second curve, especially during the COVID. There's not much I can do. Even for my other startups during the COVID, it's very difficult to grow the company at the time. So I spent some time, talk to my advisors, and decide to work on the area about, at that time it's still not really too much about Gen AI, but it's still part of the big data. So very soon after the introduction of ChatGPT, we decided to do a quick pivot, not only in my PhD course, but also my startup course. So we decided to focus a lot into the application level about the AI and AI agents. We're among the first to know about the impact of our AI agents. That was way before the introduction of MaaS, not to mention open cloud. So in about late 2024, mid to late 2024, we're already thinking about how we should build something huge with AI agent, and that was a time which we thought that is a biggest opportunity after the introduction of models, because very few players can compete with the big players out there, but AI agents offer the opportunity. At the beginning of the journey, we spent a lot of time thinking about doing something vertical and application level, but very soon we realized that it's not the faster way of growth. Especially with the introduction of MaaS, you see that the entire general purpose of agent just automate a lot of things. Before everybody else, we soon realized that the most important part about the vertical agent is agent itself, not about the vertical part. And this kind of things has validated by introduction of cloud co-work and skills. Cloud co-work is like a general purpose agent, but with any kind of combination of skills, it can soon become a vertical SaaS or vertical AI agent. So that was early 1 year after we have the same kind of inspirations. That's why we decided to focus a lot into the fundamentals, which is the general purpose agent, and we start to think about building our own models because there was also an opportunity of seeing the huge impact of DeepSeek in the early of 2024, I think early of 2025, which we say that we don't have to build everything from scratch. What we can do is focus a lot on post-training, and post-training proved to be extremely effective, and with much less cost in terms of training and much less cost in terms of inferences, because we're using much smaller models, much smaller parameters. So together with the kind of infrastructure which we assembled with post-training open source models, especially on smaller models, build AI agent architecture, which have the routing mechanisms as an infrastructure, we're able to build something 95% that of SOTA models, or even better, sometimes up to 98, or even surpass the SOTA models, with a cost which is like 1/10 of that of the big models. So that gives us a lot of opportunity to think about how we can excel in the application level. This is only our first app. We're already in the plan of launching 2 other apps this month. One is focusing on the video and image generation. You see the outburst of C-Dance 2.0. A lot of people are thinking about how this can transform the entire industry of movie and stuff. We're providing a similar model with relevant apps just recently, and we are launching another app which is an enhanced version of character.ai, which is compelling purpose, but it has a multimodal, the image and videos generated within the scenes. So you can be your own director and your own actor in the scenes. it's an open-ended story. So this is going to be 2 new apps besides all-in-one Agnes. We're launching a third one. I mean, a fourth one, which is focused on app and web development. You would think that as a similar version of Replit or Lovebook, but we focus a lot on the mobile part. So we have a cluster of apps, supported by a cluster of models. And each of the model is very cost efficient in terms of parameters, but very effective in terms of the capabilities matching up with SOTA models. This is the entire architecture of our current story.
I see. Cool. Yeah. So would you say that most of your model like open source right now?
We build on top of open source models.
Okay.
We call them pre-trained models. But these pre-trained models, if you just directly using the models, I only give you something like mediocre scores, like 60 out of 100. If you count the 100 as the best SOTA closed source models.
Yeah.
So we have to do the work to improve from the 60 to 90 or 95. So this is part of which we have all the innovations, and we build on top of this all the apps which are utilizing our own, self homegrown models, self-trained models.
I see. Makes sense. Yeah. I'm sure you have a lot of like the team people behind this doing the
a lot.
engineering and research, right?
We have about 40 researchers, 40 researchers, and 80 yes. So altogether we have 150 in the team, and we're expanding to about 200 within about 1 or 2 months.
Awesome. Well, that's quite a big team. Yeah, for sure. Expanding very fast too. As well. Yeah, I think it'd be very interesting. You can share screen, share a bit of maybe a quick demo for people to see the capability of the Agnes AI model, right? The main product right now, right? That's the one that
do that. Can you see
my
screen?
I think yes, I can see it now. Yeah, I can see Agnes AI.
Yeah, it looks slightly different on mobile and desktop, but let me go one by one. This is our current, mainstream, flagship app, but we have another 2 coming up this week. So by the time this video comes up, if you search for our company name, CPS AI, you should see multiple apps both on our website and on App Store. So let me see, let me research, maybe, let me just
insurance industry. How about in insurance industry in insurance?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's choose some topic. Yeah, because actually that's one of
in Southeast Asia.
In Singapore. Yeah, Southeast Asia sounds good. Yeah, Southeast Asia because we both here. Yeah, makes sense. Do you have to switch a mode to researcher? Or you just do the regular?
No, we don't have to. So it will understand the content and does the triage itself.
Okay.
And we are pretty fast. So normally, if you do research outside from other apps, it might take a couple of minutes. For us, it's like within 1 minute, you should get a result.
That's quite fast. Yeah.
Yeah, and our token per second is very very fast. And you see all the image and it's in Chinese because it might have a problem because I asked previous question in Chinese, but let me.
Okay, I see. Is this a new thread or existing thread?
But sorry, let me just please provide everything.
Okay. Yeah, please translate, right?
Yeah.
I guess because it remembers you as a user, right? Obviously. Yeah. Because I guess like you.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm testing on Chinese languages, so that's why the.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It has.
It's good to test. Okay,
yeah, it has a memory of the user. That's why remembers your preferred language, remembers your all your preferences. Yeah. So you get put up a report with all the links and the sources.
Yeah, nice.
And trying to get something out within the second time I asked, it only take like 5 seconds because I've asked the same question before and it
Got
has
it.
hash.
Yeah.
And what I can do from here is I may generate a deck based on the above info.
Okay.
So what I can do here is I can use slides and I can go for pro version. And pro version takes slightly longer, but it's very good. I would say it's very professional.
I see.
We can wait.
What do you say is like the main difference between the what is it, the fast and the pro? What are the main difference?
The
Is
first
it
one
like
is the first version is mostly optimized for speed. So the PowerPoint should
okay?
be done within 2 minutes. For the Pro
Got it.
version, it takes slightly longer, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. It's still much faster than most of the other apps, but it's very professional.
Yeah,
I'll be able to show you the results in a few minutes. While
for sure.
with the results coming out, we can take a look at our mobile part.
Sure.
Mobile is slightly different from our
Is this also same or is this a separate app? Like, do you also chat or you have more models here or for the mobile app?
it's the same account. It's the same account.
Same. Okay.
And on mobile, it's available on both App Store and from Android Play. And on the first tab of work, this is mostly about what we're seeing on the PC right now. But
Okay.
what you would see is, let me get back. Let me continue.
Sure. Nice.
So
it's thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's thinking, but you see that it already
Yeah.
all the
Make the chapter. I see that. That's cool.
Summaries. You have 11 pages,
Nice.
page 11. So it's still in the process of generating. Let's wait for that. But on besides the work part, you can. This is like what you can see right now is the same as on PC. But it also has a multi-modal part, which you see all the video and image generation.
Nice.
I also have some of the images generated by me and my friend.
Nice.
This is me.
Getting a haircut. Nice. Oh wow.
And also you see and this is the third tab is like character.ai, which you see
Character. Yeah.
different characters. I could play different games. And the good part about us, how we differentiate from other players is we have the video and image generation, so you can be your own actor.
Interesting.
And
Nice.
so it has a story, it has a plot.
Yeah.
So you can communicate, chat with your character, and once for a while it show up the video and image, and it have the communication.
Okay.
It has a voice.
So you can make like some selection as well, or you make, or you chat with it.
Yeah, you chat with your character and generate the video, and
I see.
And it has a voice synchronization.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so this is a part of the story. So that's how we have the all-in-one within my app right now. We have both work and search and stuff, which is similar to the desktop version, and we have the video and image generation, and we have the companion. So we're going to separate this part, this piece of image and video generation, and the companion part into a virtual app. But we still keep the Agnes as all-in-one. Yeah, so this is the idea. Yeah, we're still generating the slides.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you said you will separate the character AI, all the character thing into like separate app, right?
Right.
That's a plan. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Interesting. And would you say that which app or which model is like is the most popular, like being used the most by your user?
So
like
right
your
now,
6 million user.
Yeah, so for the 6 million users we have right now, it's about half. Maybe half of the users are focusing a lot on the productivity. The other half is more on the entertainment part. Entertainment part includes both the image video generation and the companion part. The companion part right now actually is extremely popular. So I think all the majority of the payment, especially the payment from the majority of the payment, especially payment from Indonesia market, and maybe including all the entire Southeast Asia market, together with the developed countries like US and Japan, they spending a lot of money, spending a lot of the most benefit feature is on character part.
Nice.
The slides are coming up.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay.
Let me do a demo about this size.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Go for it. Yeah, just to see the quality of it. Wow. Looks pretty professional. I can see that. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still
Insurance
in the
industry,
process
South
of
Asia.
generation. Let's wait for a few last minute.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah.
Once it's
Okay.
done here, we
That's
should be able to
interesting.
do a presentation.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. And then so I guess like the cost of using each of these model would be different, right? And I suppose a video and what is it? Video model probably the most expensive, I imagine.
Yeah, but we did have a lot of optimization. So you would think that video and
Yeah.
models are very expensive, but for us, we are able to optimize to read that every second might take from our side maybe a couple of cents,
Yeah.
1 or 2 cents. Maybe that's the
Wow.
cost we're
Okay.
able to optimize. And in terms of text, it's much cheaper because we're running on smaller models. We do a lot of distillation, we do
Yeah.
a lot of what should I say? Do a lot of quantization. That means we don't need
Uh-huh.
a big GPU to run our models. Yeah,
Okay.
this is ready.
What okay, the deck is ready. Nice.
Yeah, that's ready.
Nice.
Uh,
Okay.
I'm able to do a
Cool. Wow. Very
quick,
professional.
yeah,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
and
Executive market overview. Okay. Nice. Market size growing. Yeah. I like that. Okay. Key growth driver. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. I know some about the insurance industry as well. So health P&C emerging. Okay. That's
yeah.
cool.
So you might want to
Micro
subscribe
insurance.
to
Yeah.
our slides to generate your yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. No, it's good. I actually, I gave it a try before the recording. I gave the slide because actually tomorrow I have a seminar to run. So I
Okay.
was like, I don't have time to make slides. So I might as well try
Yeah, and you see
your
this
product.
is very
It's
interactive.
actually it
Yeah,
came.
it's actually interactive. Each of the
Oh, okay,
chart.
cool. Oh yeah, okay, I see. Which is good. Yeah,
Yeah.
show you
And if you want to do
billion. Okay, huge market.
if you want to do a quick edit, you can go with advanced editing, which all the tag
Yeah,
and all you can move things around.
nice.
You can add image and videos. You can insert stuff. You can
That's cool.
do all font changes, anything like.
Got it. Yeah. So you do all of this in the web app online, right? You don't need to like open PowerPoint or whatever, right? Yeah.
It's
Make it very easy.
like
Yeah.
all
Nice.
in our web. But if you're interested in download the PowerPoint, we also support the feature. But
Mhm.
that's for
Nice.
subscribers. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. All good.
This is one of the things which we are
Interesting.
able to get people subscribe very fast.
Yeah. I bet. No, I've seen like some. What is it? There's a one. I think go Gamma. Have you seen Gamma? Gamma. Like also they generate slide, right? That's I think that's mainly what they do. I feel like
Exactly. Yeah.
generate slides and yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. No, I like the quality. It's really good.
Awesome.
Yeah, and also makes sense over there. Okay, that's a really cool demo.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
different kind of other cool things like image and video generation. This is for slides, but if you also look at all these
Okay.
images generated by our own models, so you can
Okay.
see from these as inspirations. You can click into it and change, do a remix with a slight change on the prompts to generate your own image and videos. And besides that, I
Mhm.
think we're also coming with a feature called AI Sheet, which is something for
Okay.
you to understand about some data, do some
Okay.
analysis about the
AI sheet.
yeah. This is a feature.
Okay. So like you can upload an Excel
Yeah, you
and
can
it
upload
analyze for you
Excel
or
and then you can do
something like
analysis
that.
about the
Yeah.
data.
Nice. Interesting. Yeah. So I guess I would. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's still a lot of jobs right now in the world that's still running on Excel,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Like business analyst, for example,
Maybe what
or
I
like
can do is
data analysis.
let me do an analysis of
Mhm.
insurance industry
Yep.
in South Asia. Let's see whether this
Okay.
data sheet will be able to work.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So it's gonna pull up some data
from
and then
online
like it will.
and do
I guess like
analysis.
okay. Nice. What would you like to begin with?
Small data analysis maybe.
Okay, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so data. Interesting. So it looks like the model is already like remember a lot of preferences about you, right?
Yes.
I think.
Yes. It has a
Yeah.
memory. Okay. Then it's maybe I do I ask maybe I ask them to give me some AI sheet to try it.
Okay. Yeah, that's why we. Yeah, I think something existing might be easier. I guess. Yeah. I see. Oh yeah, it looks like it's. I'm just reading the text on there. It's saying that they upload your data file. Yeah, it's actually asking you.
Exactly.
Like,
So
yeah. Okay.
so let me
Makes sense. Yeah.
ask them to give me some AI sheet to look at. Yeah. We can talk about this later. We can do a demo.
Yeah, sure.
When
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, later. All good, all good. But yeah, no, I think that's cool. You have quite a lot of feature, right? AI design, and then is an AI design like for cover or something, right? But yeah, you can quit the sharing.
Yeah, you can do you
Nice.
can do AI design for a lot of things. By the way, our AI design also support Photoshop features like you can separate the layers, you can edit on the text.
Okay.
The text, you can remove
Yeah.
background. This is all supported
Nice.
by AI design features.
Yeah, that's very important for like a lot of designers.
Exactly.
I actually that's cool. That's cool. I think that'd be helpful for my team. I want to check that
Yeah,
out.
try it out.
Cool.
Try it out.
Anyway, yeah, cool. So, would you say that? I mean, I remember that during the what is the event where we met, right?
Yeah.
I remember you guys said like the AI inclusion, but also like building a company from Singapore, right? It's like to compete with like what is your like strategy with like your company? Is it like you trying to target more developing markets, or what is your strategy? What is the user segment? Like, just curious, right? Because
So if you look at
I would like to hear some.
if you look at the current the competition in the global market, it's mostly coming from US and China. And if you look at US and China,
Yes.
both of them are very strong. I also have a team in China, so we know that China talents are very strong. China have a lot of good supplies in terms of the talents, in terms of infrastructure, and we're just saying that there's a strong lead outside of US and China, which form a third party to compete with the two big two players. Otherwise, the entire entire power um, in terms of the things are controlled by the two big players. And if you look at the conflict with US and Iran in the Middle East, as I heard, the U.S. Army is already utilizing a lot of AI in terms of the operation.
Yeah.
In the future, it's not about the weapon. It's about AI. It's about whether you have AI or not. We don't want we have a vision of not excluding the rest of the world in the development of AI, and we definitely hope that Agnes can be one of the effort to have the third party outside of US and China to have their own models, have their own infrastructure. This is our long-term vision. And if you look at besides this long-term vision, if you look at the current AI inclusion, is not doing extremely well. We have about 5% of people in the world using maybe 10%. There's about 10% of people, 10% of netizens in the world using Gen AI every day, which counts for about 500 million to 700 million. That counts about maybe 10% of netizens. And within this 10% of netizens, for subscribers, it's only about 5%. If you look at the, ChatGPT subscriber monthly from the monthly active user is only about 5%. So this is 10% times 5%. Only 0.5% of the global netizens are using the advanced features of the generative AI right now, and the rest of 99.5% is neglected. It's not well covered. It is a good opportunity for us because we believe in AI inclusion. We believe in AI parity. We believe that in terms of development, it's best not to create inequality, create an unequal, uneven scenario where the advanced AI nations dominate the entire world, just like how the armies are using AI to do a lot of operations. We want to try to reduce this kind of conflict by having equal development. Definitely the third parties are in need of this kind of AI sovereignty. That's why we believe that Agnes can play a huge role in this process. So I also want to pay my tribute to all the entire open source community. If without the open source community, when we're going to start from scratch, which takes a much longer time. With open source, the iterations of open source models, we're able to build from something like midway, and it's midway, 60%. And we hope to reach that to about 90%. And we wish our models and our services can cover, can cater to the less covered regions, so that somewhere in the future, at least it's a three-party game, US, China, and the rest of the world, and we want to contribute to the third player. Yeah, this is our long-term vision.
Cool, impressive. Yeah, I think we need that for sure, right? Yeah, because I feel like in whatever industry, right? If you only have like two players, actually in economics we call it duopoly, right? And as you know from I don't know, economics, but economics is my major. So anyway, back a long time ago, I was going to college. But duopoly mean like they have so much like power, right,
Exactly.
over people, and then but now like if you have like more, it's kind of like fair market, like fair competition, and it's just like. Yeah, more choices for the user. So I think in the end, like I think it's win for the user anyway. It's a win, and also much more healthy in the market now. So that's a very impressive and lofty goal that I think set out there. Yeah, and I think open source really helped a lot, right? For sure, because I feel like with a lot of the I heard as like what is it? I'm definitely not a researcher on AI, but I know like what is it, the mixture of models like it's like one of the new innovation right, in Gen AI, right?
Yeah, mixture models.
Yeah, I'm always talking. Is that what you guys are using right now too? Or some of your models?
Mixture of experts.
Yeah.
This is one of the things which introduced by DeepSeek. I mean, advanced by DeepSeek.
Yeah.
It's part of our structure for the models because that helps a lot in terms of reduce cost at the inference level. We also have that in our models, but we also have a cluster of dense models, smaller dense models, which each of them serve as experts, and we use Agentic routing to achieve similar kind of effect like MOE.
Nice, awesome. Yeah, so and I'm sure that you said like the 40 researcher, right? They probably doing research on this like in your team every day to figure out how to optimize this even further. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so it sounds like many things are actually going pretty well in your company. But like, is there any particular challenges that you guys facing on a daily basis?
We need to move extremely fast. As mentioned, it's a game of speed, because we don't want to see a situation where our development is limited by the money or by the market. That's why we believe in a positive cycle of raising a lot of money, spending very fast, growing the metrics, and with money again. So this is a cycle which we're trying to catch up with all the other big players. But at the same time, we find that there's a lot of investors in the region who do not really understand about the impact about AI. Not like in Silicon Valley or in China, where they already see a huge impact. As I mentioned, companies like Minimax and Zhipu, when they went public, they already at a valuation of 30 billion and above USD. So we have to do a lot of education work. We have to convince investors and convince a lot of our supporters that we have the similar kind of capabilities, and we need their support, because we can't be the only player who want to achieve the vision of building AI for inclusion, building AI for the third nations. Besides the G2 of China, US, we have the third nations need its own AI company. So that's one of the challenges which we have, trying to educate the market.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially when you're doing something like very much like frontier, like state of the art, right? It's probably hard to get the investor who come along on the ride as well. Because I guess some investor probably they see as like, oh, the markets already have like these and this like frontier model already. Why do we need a company, right? Yeah. So it's a tricky one. But I think your strategy of targeting a lot of the developing market or even rest of the world, I would say, is probably pretty fair, because like sometimes I remember when you said like what is it like 5% of the 10%, right? You actually pay for the subscription, like 0.5. Remind me, I think there was a picture online. You probably might have seen it too, right? There's like the whole world is like this map of the dot, right? The square. I don't know if I can find the picture now, but like the map of the dot, and then where like the gray is like I think majority, more than like 90%. They don't use any AI at all,
right?
And then like there's some green dot, right? People are using the free version, like just like free chat, and then Like the orange, right? Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, orange like the one that actually user paid the $20, and then the red one is like the one very advanced user. Maybe like you and me, we use like I don't know advanced like coding, cloud code work, and a lot of the stuff. So we like just tiny little, maybe 3 million. I feel like of course, obviously, if you go and talk to one AI startup, we live in like our own like little AI, like sphere or bubble.
Yeah, I
right?
think,
But then realize like we're very early, I think.
yeah, totally agree with you. So I think this is a situation right now. A lot of stakeholders do not really have the understanding about the impact of AI, like investors, like a lot of potential government policymakers. If they know, if they would realize the huge power and huge impact, huge potential of AI, they will probably spend much more money in supporting companies like us. Just like how US, if you look at US, the top 10 companies in in US right now is worth 4 trillion. It's worth 4 trillion.
It's huge.
Dude,
Yeah.
unbelievable. Companies like OpenAI and Anthropic, they are able to assemble a lot of money. It's like both US and China realize that this is the final say about the future development. That's why we have to squeeze some money and squeeze some good amount of support for these companies. Just like how the Federal Reserve and China's China banks is probably I would say printing money to support these companies, AI companies,
Yeah.
so that the rest of the industry everywhere is paying about 20% of tax, because this is how the entire valuation will shrink a little bit, so that we have enough reserve to support the AI and robotics companies. And I would hope that Singapore and the rest of Asian countries will do the same, because not only limited to the Southeast Asia, but the rest of the world will do the same, because we don't want to lag behind from the top two. Otherwise, in terms of dominating, in terms of future conflicts, they would dominate every aspect. So this kind of education we have to spread to the rest of the world, especially to the stakeholders, so that we get the kind of support to build our product really well, to support our vision.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very long road, obviously, if you just educating frontier
Yeah.
stuff, technology. Cool. So, I mean, obviously, your company is targeting a lot of the consumers with the main one. But I'm curious, do you have any future plan of maybe expanding to like target business and enterprise
Yeah.
as well?
So very soon,
Is that
in about
okay?
this April of this year, which is second quarter, we're going to launch our enterprise solutions, which is mostly covered as MaaS services, which is model as a service. So we're going to introduce features like our search, our office work, our image and video generation, and maybe companion. All of this covered as enterprise solutions. And how we're different from other models is, you see that we do a lot of intelligent routing, and we have very complex tasks, divide that into a smaller, item level unit tasks, and route to different, foundation models. So if companies want to tap on us to reduce their work building their own agentic framework, reduce the work of building their own SaaS services, we definitely can go after us. Another advantage is, as I mentioned, we have a huge optimization in terms of speed and cost. And for companies, especially in companies in emerging countries, cost is a very strong factor, because we're serving for the less well-paid customers. So we enter as a very strong force in enterprise solution starting from this second quarter.
Interesting. Yeah, that sounds very exciting. Yeah, I know like some of the other frontier company, right? I think the enterprise solution usually like boasts something along the line of like privacy and maybe like enterprise, like they don't keep the data and whatnot, right? As like, and then trying to blend it into, I don't know, agentic. I'm sure they probably have some agentic component in there as well too.
Yeah.
For the businesses, yeah, it's pretty common. Cool. Yeah. Interesting. And are you thinking of targeting like very big enterprise in Singapore first? Obviously, because that's where you're based, right?
I don't know. So so as I mentioned, time is the essence. If you go for big players,
Yeah.
probably will take maybe half a year, 1 year to close a
That's
account.
true.
And
Close
for
the
the
deal,
time
yeah.
being, we want to be extremely fast. We probably want to just open out our APIs. Maybe we're not even serving for the end customer. It's more like system integration players, partners who
I
build on
see.
top of our system and serve for these clients.
I think that makes sense because at least it will help you. They already have an existing distribution, right?
Yeah,
So
they
you
already have
to,
existing.
they will, at least exactly. So you can cut down on the sales because I know that, enterprise sales cycle, whether it's like medium and big enterprise, is like very long, like cycle. Like what is it, the sales cycle, right?
But by the
It's very
time
long. I mean,
by the time we close our first biggest player, we already potential public company. So we want to focus a lot in terms of fast situation. So we get the consumer apps first, and we start with set up MaaS services, which is a model as service. We provide service to the system integrator, to fast builders, instead of serve for big clients.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, like the first time I heard of that model as a service. Hopefully, in the future we'll hear that more in the future. You might be the first one that came up with that name. I guess I don't know. I never heard
It's
of
not
this
a new
before.
name, but it's probably new to the region.
It's not a new name. Okay. Yeah, I see. Interesting. And so some question about Gen AI in general. I'm curious because I'm sure you and I we've read a lot of like how the future will hold. So I want to hear like some of your prediction here as well. Like one is how will like Gen AI like evolve in the future? What is your take on that? Where do you see it?
Yeah, I definitely think that AI is changing drastically to the world. Even right now, you have seen the huge changes, but a lot of labs are holding the most advanced models because it will only release the one or two generations down the road. They're not going to release the newest model. So I would say that within one or two generation later, we probably will see AI, surpassing human in almost every aspect. That's why you see that influencers like Elon Musk, Sam Altman, Demis Hassabis, they all believe that AGI is coming very soon. Because for the most updated versions of the AI models, probably used in somewhere else, maybe in US Army operations, they already super advanced, super advanced. And in terms of future of SaaS services and future of apps, I believe that most of these companies won't exist, or they will consolidate into more AI centric companies. It's AI which dominate the entire future. Anthropic's cloud co-work with skills is able to disrupt a lot of industries because they don't have to exist with AI and skills. You don't have to do a lot of detailed process work because AI would handle it. We're not going to develop software for human anymore. It's mostly software for AI, which is the skills. And AI will handle all the hard and dirty work. That's why you see a lot of SaaS services do have the mindset that we're going to provide the most convenient product for human. But the problem is human are not going to operate on the software anymore. So a lot of SaaS services are not going to exist. A lot of applications are not going to exist because similar to what I mentioned about SaaS, you don't have to. There's no usage of one person using different apps to to serve for different purposes like booking a ticket, booking a hotel, go for a journey, maybe buy some stuff from e-commerce. All this entire stuff, operation and interaction with the network will be handled by your agent. And you just have to communicate with your agents using natural language, just like how OpenClaw is already achieving part of this realization. I believe that within 2 or 3 years, the world is going to be dominated by a few very big AI labs and other all the other applications and SaaS services will either exist as skills of MCP tools or tools connected by MCP. So we hope that we become one of these labs, just in case that all the other labs are coming from China and US. We still want to be a third party on a neutral land and serving for the emerging countries, and have the kind of AI parity. And we hope that more people are going to believe in what we have seen. We have seen and believe in our vision and support us. And we hope that we can educate the market very fast. a lot of a lot of investors are still looking at SaaS services, still looking at vertical AI. But I not only mentioned by me, but also by Elon Musk and Dario from Anthropic or Sam Altman. They all know that it's not going to be the case. AI, especially general purpose AI, is going to disrupt the entire vertical SaaS services and entire vertical AI agent companies. There's no point spending betting for the growth of these products, even though they might have some growth within a short period of time. Long term speaking, is definitely going to be the homeland for AI general purpose AI agents. So that's something we truly believe and we truly spending our effort.
Interesting. So I think what you said kind of remind me of this, like, what is it, a prediction doomsday article, right, written by Citrini, if I remember correctly, right? I'm sure you probably might have read that piece also, right? The very long piece of like in 2028, right, which is like what you said 2 or 3 years down the road, a lot of the SaaS vertical companies that will like cease to exist because they just cannot compete because company now kind of build their own SaaS. It's a very interesting futuristic scenario. I'm not sure if it will come true or not, but I think it's very, very exciting to see.
It's coming true right now. Yeah, just think about that. It's in the future. It's not about making products for humans. It's about making products for AI, because AI agent is going to be your only companion, which takes order from you and handle all the hard work. So there's no reason building software, SaaS services, even vertical AI for human to use. You just need a few very strong AI companion assistant does the job for you, just like how OpenClaw is already opening the door for it.
I see. Yeah, it makes sense. Actually, one thing I've also read on like a lot of, I mean, there's probably a lot of debate and opinion about it, but I feel like there's something called diminishing amount of return, right? As in like with the model, I mean, the model is probably going to get better and better, but I think what I was reading is like the efficiency, right? It's not going to like 10x. Let's say from OpenAI 2, OpenAI 3, it's like a 10x jump, right? But then 3 to 4 is not going to be 10x, maybe like 5x or 6x, and then 3, 4 to 5 is probably going to be less than that, right? So I mean, I feel like it's going to be diminishing amount of return here. So how do you actually see it? And I know people also like say a lot about AGI, right? But I don't think many even experts in the AI field agree what AGI is. So I feel like, but in my opinion, I feel like AGI is like a huge gap, right? It cannot be a 2x. It has to be, I don't know, 100x or something, right? Versus the current one. So I'm kind of curious how you think about that. Yeah, like has a lot of the labs like reached a plateau?
Yeah, there's a lot of plateau, as you mentioned, about diminishing returns in terms of models for sure, because for foundation models, a lot of benchmarks is already hitting the very top scores, especially in terms of math, programming, a lot of objective matters. AI is already reaching a score way higher than human. In terms of some of subjective matters, like doing research, doing something with aesthetics, which you have to understand the human perceptiveness, it's going to be still difficult, still have the gap. But as you mentioned, the newer models are taking maybe a smaller percentage of growth, because the big jumps are already done by the early generations. But we still see a lot of potential growth opportunities within the next couple of years. First, the cost is still very high. The cost is high because of what we call AI economy, because everything has a cost, and it is running NVIDIA's GPU, while NVIDIA is something like 70% of the gross margin. It maintains the cost very high, so that it's difficult for AI inferences to do a huge amount of work. That's also part of the problem with AI parity. So in the near future, I would hope that with introduction of more, chips company, more advanced version of the GPUs, the cost of GPU will lower to a huge amount, maybe 1/10 of what we're seeing right now. Number two, we see that there's still a problem with speed of AI. You might see that token per second, 150 to 200 is good enough, but if you want to really have a fast feedback loop, like how human is reacting, right? If you want to have the kind of the feedback loops, brain processes like human to be injected into a human-like humanoid, robots. You need to keep improving on the algorithms to make a much stronger integration of software and hardware in terms of speed of process. And there's also a lot to go in terms of how to make this robotics more like human by understand about the instructions and have the memory and can really get into the house code to do some work. So despite the growth of foundation model, which I agree with you that the the marginal returns is diminishing, we still see a huge growth opportunity in terms of integrating the foundation models into the household work, especially with speed and cost. So that's something which our team will work together with industry, with open source community to hopefully, from the journey.
Makes sense. Yeah. So it sounds like, it sounds like from what you said that we have a huge, well, maybe not huge, but a very small, ecosystem of suppliers for AI equipment, for example, like NVIDIA GPU that you said, right? I think there's probably a bottleneck there somewhere. If I remember
it's
reading
definitely a bottleneck.
Taiwan TSMC, right?
Yeah.
TSMC, because they also supply, I forgot, they supply something for NVIDIA, and NVIDIA mainly buy from them. So if something happens,
manufacture to the NVIDIA.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I feel like I think they are like a monopoly in a way, or like maybe like majority of market share, right? Exactly. So I don't know who's gonna come in and maybe compete with them or not, but yeah, that would be for sure. I think that would drive down because earlier we were saying if there's only 2 AI companies, they will control too much power, and then or 2 dominant AI country, right? But then if there's like a third one, then there'll be more competition.
Exactly.
Open up opportunity, reduce the cost.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Awesome, interesting. And I'm curious. So I read somewhere I think Cloud Anthropic. I think they're using their own model to build their own model, right? Maybe 40% or something of the code written by their own model. In your company? Are you using your own model to build your next model? Or what are
this
you
is
thinking
possible.
of that?
This is definitely possible. We haven't had the entire automation of the model development, but we maybe 60 to 70% of the model training is already automated by AI agents. Like if you want to do a reinforcement learning, it will need a lot of feedback from human previously, and you will need that data to build a reward model to help you to give a score for each of the try and errors. But what we can do right now is instead of using human to do the label, we use agents which serve almost the same purpose of human and find a way to calibrate the process with a very small number of sample data. That way, we are able to automate the process of training one generation above another, have the entire evolution by itself, because the newer version of the models would be more advanced and it would serve better as a judge to give scores. And the scores in turn will give a better reward for the process of reinforcement learning to generate the next version of AI models. So to make it simple, it's like a stretch, right, between the judge and the player. If you have a better judge, you have better player. But better judges together, we have a better players, which in turn will become better judges. So this is a strategy game to have the AI to evolve by itself.
So basically it's like a cycle, right? Basically it's like the AI will improve itself, right? Learn and improve and learn, improve. Interesting. Yeah, I think this is I feel like that's like the golden standards, right? AI train on itself and then just improving. That's really awesome. Yeah. Hopefully you can succeed with that. Cool. Yeah, just a couple more questions before we close out the show here. And then, so I'm sure that building a company is extremely hard. And I think well, on top of that, I'm not sure if you're still pursuing your PhD right now, right? I think if you tell me correctly, yeah, exactly. So basically, oh man, that's a lot of quite tough right there. Yeah. Do you have any advice for people who want to build their own company, their own startup?
Yeah, I had a lot of experience before building this startup. I had a journey in the Valley. I had built a couple of other startups before I building this one. That saved me a lot of time, saved me a lot of mistakes, because building a startup is not easy, especially with AI. As mentioned, time is essence, and you have to give your best. Otherwise, the competition is also going to be very fierce. So my advice is going to embrace the challenge, go to the market, step out of the comfort zone as early as possible. Make some huge mistakes while you are young. I think I made a lot of mistakes while doing my first two startups. So for the third one, for this one, I'm trying to avoid most of the mistakes, despite I'm going to make a few more. And learning is very important. I feel that I have learned a lot. I have become a very fast learner. Do a lot of feedback on myself. You have to be a very adaptive learner before you become a successful businessman, because you will soon realize that a lot of things do not happen as you wish. What I really realized that is a lot of successful businessmen are also very humble people. A lot of very smart people, a lot of very smart guys are not going to be successful businessmen, are successful entrepreneurs. Especially if you do extremely well in your school, if you have very successful early life career, it's very difficult for you to become a very successful entrepreneur. Because that's something I think I heard from Elon Musk. Because maybe your capabilities haven't matched your ego. That's how you cannot grow. So I
Yeah.
if you want to, the kind of advice which I would give, I think is extremely helpful to myself, is keep my ego very low and become very adaptive learner. Make mistakes, but fail fast and get back as soon as possible. So I believe a lot in this process.
Yeah, makes sense. I think you summarize it so well that I don't think I can summarize it any better. Yeah, for sure, because I'm sure that many entrepreneurs, they face a lot of mistakes and hurdles, right? But the faster or sooner you can learn it and fix and steer yourself, correct the direction, right? And then the faster you can grow. Yeah, so that's really awesome. Cool. And final question: where can people follow you or your company? Feel free to share any public links or handles. You can just read it all out or share the screen, whichever one you want.
Yeah, so you can search from App Store or Google Play with Agnes AI. Agnes Agnes is also named Agnes AI. Just search from Apple's App Store or Google Android, and you find our app and try play with it.
Nice, awesome. Yeah, I'll make sure to put those links in the show note later on. So that for the show listener and also for the watchers can also try it out your apps.
Thank you very much.
For free here. Awesome, cool. Yeah, thank you, Bruce. It's been really enlightening today having you on the show, and hopefully that
I learned a lot from
main goal, creating a third nation, third country nation that will be very powerful, being able to compete along. Yeah,
very good and reflective time for
looking
myself
forward to that.
Yeah, looking up to the episode. Yeah, awesome.
Thank you so much
very much
for being on here. Cheers.
Bye bye.
And we're back to my studio. What do you think about the demo that Bruce showed regarding the capabilities of Agnes AI? Would you consider becoming a user after seeing his demo and the capabilities of Agnes AI? If you have tried Agnes AI models, let us know what you think below in the comments. For the next episode, we'll go into the intersection of AI and Web3. We talk to Gabriela Moreira, the lead developer of Informal Systems. She's one of the main builders behind Quint, a tool that helps developer make sure complex systems actually work the way they are supposed to. Quint is especially helpful for things like blockchains, distributed system, and smart contracts, where small bugs can cause huge problems. If you enjoyed this episode about AI and entrepreneurship, give a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.